All right, we are back with an upper body workout. We're sticking to that theme of work to rest ratio, so we're not necessarily going off of reps. So this is going to be the tier 1 or the easy upper body category, okay? All you're really gonna need is a chair, okay? You don't necessarily need a chair for this. You can always do some of these things standing, okay? But we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a seat. So if you wanna go ahead and grab a chair if you don't already. I got the timer like usual, so we're gonna do 20 seconds of work followed by 40 seconds of rest, okay? Again, if you feel like that's too easy or you need something a little bit harder, go ahead and go to the other tiers. So there's that moderate and then that harder tier, okay? So you'll be working a little bit more and resting less, all right? First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do that seated IY and T's. So what we're gonna do, I'll demonstrate the movement first. We're gonna have our arms down by the side. We're gonna raise our arms up nice and straight, just above that chin level. Bring them back down. Then we're gonna bring them out on a 45-degree angle, just above that chin. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring them all the way out to the side, just above chin level and back down, okay? We're gonna repeat that as many times as we can in that 20 seconds, okay? So again, I have the timer. We're gonna go ahead and start in 3, 2, 1, and go. Arms are down by the side, starting with those I's, bring them back down, Y's, out to the side at a 45-degree angle, and those T's, bringing them out to the side again. Just repeating that. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and rest for that 40 seconds. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do those wall push-ups, okay? So you're gonna need a wall also, all right? You can also do it on the chair, but that's gonna be a little bit at a steeper angle, so that's gonna be a little bit more harder. I'm gonna go ahead and find your wall. You wanna be about arm's length away from that wall. Your hands are gonna be just about chest level, if not a little bit below that, okay? And all we're doing for this is we're trying to bring our chin as far as we can towards that wall. And we're gonna push ourselves back to that starting position. We're gonna go ahead in 3, 2, 1, and go. Here. You may have to adjust your hands depending on how comfortable it is. So for me, I'm gonna bring them a little bit more down. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Perfect. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do some arm circles and pulses. So again, you don't necessarily need to be seated for this, but you can if you'd like. So we still got some time, we're resting, okay? So we got about that 40 seconds of rest. So for those arm circles, all we're doing is we're bringing our arms out to the side and we're just rotating them, okay? I'll tell you when it's about halfway and then we can switch and go the other way. In 3, 2, 1, go. We'll go ahead, start rotating those arms. You can go as fast or as slow as you'd like and as big or as small as you'd like. I'm gonna go ahead and rotate the other way. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Perfect. We got that 40 seconds of rest, okay? Now we got that modified plank, okay? So you will need a counter or even a chair for this, okay? I'm gonna demonstrate this real quick. Now if you have your chair in front of you, okay, you're basically going to grip the sides, okay? And you're going to walk your feet back until you feel like you're completely straight, okay? So this is what I want as far as the plank goes. If you don't necessarily have a chair, you don't feel comfortable because it's unsteady, you can find yourself a counter. So grab yourself a counter, you're gonna hold yourself up, walk your feet back as far as you feel like you're able to, and then you're nice and straight, okay? We're gonna do that in 3, 2, 1, and go. Go ahead, straighten ourselves out. You may or may not be on your tippy toes for this one, and that's okay. If you have your heels completely flat, you're gonna feel a little stretch on your calves, okay? Now hold that, make sure to take some nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, and rest. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and rest for that 40 seconds. So this one we're going to be standing again. We got tricep extensions, okay? So you may or may not need your chair. You can always do this in the chair, but you don't necessarily need to, okay? And I'm going to demonstrate this real quick. You're going to have your feet about shoulder width apart, knees nice and bent. You're going to push your hips back and down. So you're going to be leaned forward a little bit, but I want your back nice and straight. Both your arms are going to be at a 90-degree angle in the back, and all you're doing is you're extending those arms back and bringing it back to the regular position. So you're extending your arms, okay? We're gonna do that in 3, 2, 1, and go. Three, 2, 1, and rest. Perfect. So we're gonna go back to those seated I's, Y's, and T's. So you're gonna go ahead and grab your chair. Again, 40 seconds of work. If you feel like this is too much rest time for you, go ahead, go to that moderate or harder tier, okay? We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. Go ahead, do those eyes, raise those arms up in front of you, 45-degree angle, and then out to the side. Just go about chin level, out in front, 45-degree angle, and then out to the side. Go ahead and rest. Perfect. Next thing we got are those wall push-ups. Go ahead and stand up. Just about 25 seconds of rest. So again, for this one, you might have to adjust your hands depending on how comfortable you want it to be, okay? So for me, I like my hands a little bit lower than my chest. You want about arm's length away from that wall. Want to go ahead and we're going to do that in 3, 2, 1, and go. And again, you may be on your tippy toes as your chin goes towards that wall, and that's okay. Three, 2, 1, and rest. Perfect. Got those arm circles again, so go ahead and take a seat in your chair. Again, a lot of these seated exercises can be standing as well, but if you feel like you need that break or you don't have necessarily that good balance, go ahead and take that seat. We're gonna go ahead and do those arm circles in 3, 2, 1, and go. So go ahead. Halfway, I'll tell you to turn it around. And switch. You can go as fast or as slow as you'd like, just remember. And as big or as little. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. It's about that 40 seconds of rest again. We're gonna go ahead and do those planks, okay? Now, forgot to mention this, but if you feel like that chair or counter is too steep and you need something that's a little bit more elevated, you can always suit yourself up into that wall push-up position, okay? And so basically, the further down you go, the harder it's going to be, okay? Now, I don't want you to go too low because you could have the possibility of slipping. So find yourself a chair or a counter, okay? Want to go ahead, we're going in 3, 2, 1, and go. We're gonna walk ourselves out. Try to be as straight as possible, pushing away from that counter, okay? Nice and stable. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Perfect. So we got about that 40 seconds of rest. Going back to those tricep extensions, right? So again, feet shoulder width apart, slight bend in our knees, pushing our hips back and down. So we're naturally gonna come forward, but we want that back nice and straight. Both arms are gonna be back in that 90-degree angle, and we're extending those arms, okay? We're gonna go ahead and do that in 3, 2, 1, and go. Make sure to take some nice deep breaths into the nose, out to the mouth. Extend those arms back. A lot of people make the mistake of dropping their elbows down. We want to keep those elbows nice and high. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Perfect. So that completes that easy tier. Again, you can do that as many times as you want, okay? So progress yourself. So if you feel like that's kind of getting easy, or you feel like you need more of a challenge on those exercises, you can always go to that moderate tier, but I suggest that you do that a few times and see how that goes.